Imagine walking into two different homes. The first one is filled with clothes on the floor, dirty dishes in the sink, unopened mail scattered across the table, and a strange feeling of chaos. Now imagine walking into another home. The room smells fresh. Everything has its place. The bed is neatly made. The shelves are organized. The floor is spotless. You instantly feel calmer. But here's the question. Is that house clean because the person is organized? Or is the person organized because the house is clean? Most people think cleaning is just a habit, a chore, something responsible adults do. But psychology tells a much deeper story. Sometimes the way someone keeps their home says more about what's happening inside their mind than anything they could ever tell you. A clean house isn't always about cleanliness. Sometimes it's about healing. Sometimes it's about fear. Sometimes it's about control. And sometimes it's the silent language of a mind trying to find peace in a chaotic world. A home is a mirror of the mind. Have you ever walked into someone's home, and before they said a single word, you already felt something? Maybe the room felt peaceful, or maybe it felt heavy. That's because a home often reflects what words cannot. Imagine a man who has just gone through one of the hardest years of his life. Every day feels overwhelming. His thoughts are scattered. His emotions are exhausted. One morning, without knowing why, he starts cleaning his room. He folds the clothes on the chair. He clears the desk. He opens the curtains and lets the sunlight in. An hour later, his problems haven't disappeared, but something inside him has changed. He can finally breathe. Psychologists believe our surroundings and our minds are deeply connected. When our environment is full of clutter, our brain is constantly reminded of unfinished tasks and hidden stress. But when we create order around us, our mind begins to believe that life is becoming manageable again. A clean home isn't always a sign of perfection. Sometimes, it's a quiet promise to yourself that no matter how chaotic life becomes, you can still create peace in your own little corner of the world. The need for control. Imagine a woman whose life feels like it's falling apart. Her career is uncertain. Her relationships are changing. Every day brings a new problem she can't control. Yet every morning, she wakes up and carefully makes her bed. She wipes the kitchen counter until it shines. She arranges every cushion in the living room exactly where it belongs. To everyone else, it looks like she's simply obsessed with cleaning. But the truth is much deeper. When life becomes unpredictable, the human mind desperately searches for something it can control. A clean home becomes more than a tidy space. It becomes a safe place, a silent reminder that even if the outside world feels chaotic, there is still one corner of life where everything is exactly as it should be. Sometimes people don't clean because they love perfection. They clean because, for a few quiet moments, it gives them something the world couldn't. A sense of control. The emotional comfort of order. Have you ever noticed what people do after a really bad day? Some cry, some stay silent, and some start cleaning. Imagine a young man who has just received heartbreaking news. His mind is full of questions. His heart feels heavy. He can't fix what happened. But instead of sitting in the pain, he quietly begins organizing his room. He folds the blanket, puts the books back on the shelf, wipes the dust from the table. Little by little, the room becomes calmer. And strangely, so does he. Why? Because the human brain finds comfort in order. When life feels uncertain, even the smallest act of organizing creates a sense of stability. It tells the mind, maybe I can't control everything, but I can control this. That's why a clean home often feels more than just neat. It feels safe. Sometimes people aren't cleaning their house. They're quietly putting the broken pieces of themselves back together. And every organized shelf becomes a silent reminder that even after chaos, peace can still be created. The dark side of perfection. A clean home can bring peace. But what happens when peace turns into pressure? Imagine a man who spends hours cleaning his house before anyone visits. Every cushion must be perfectly straight. Every surface must be spotless. If someone accidentally leaves a cup on the table, his mood changes instantly. He isn't cleaning because it makes him happy anymore. He's cleaning because he's afraid. Afraid of being judged. Afraid of making mistakes. Afraid that if everything isn't perfect, people will see him differently. This is the dark side of perfection. What once began as a healthy habit slowly becomes a prison. The house looks flawless, but the mind inside it is exhausted. Psychology tells us that perfection is often rooted in fear, not confidence. Because sometimes people aren't chasing a perfect home. They're chasing a feeling of being good enough. And no matter how clean the house becomes, that feeling never seems to arrive. What highly disciplined people understand. Have you ever wondered why some people clean their house, even when nobody is coming over? It's not because they love chores. It's because they've learned a powerful lesson that most people never do. Imagine two friends. Both wake up feeling tired. One leaves the bed unmade, telling himself, "I'll do it later." The other quietly makes the bed before starting the day. It takes less than 2 minutes. Nothing extraordinary happens, but day after day, that small action sends a powerful message to the brain. I keep promises to myself. That's the secret highly disciplined people understand. Discipline isn't built during life's biggest challenges. It's built through the smallest decisions that nobody applauds. A clean room isn't just a clean room. It's evidence of consistency. It's proof that a person can create order, even when life feels messy. Because success rarely begins with one giant leap. It begins with the quiet habits repeated every single day, long before anyone notices the results. Why cleaning feels like therapy. Have you ever noticed that after a difficult day, some people don't call a friend, they don't watch a movie. Instead, they quietly start cleaning. Imagine a woman sitting alone after an exhausting day. Her mind is filled with worries she can't solve. The future feels uncertain. Everything seems out of place. Without saying a word, she begins washing the dishes. She folds the laundry. She organizes the room. An hour later, her problems are still there. But somehow, she feels lighter. Why? Because cleaning gives the brain something it desperately needs during stressful moments, a sense of progress. When life feels emotionally messy, organizing your surroundings creates the feeling that not everything is falling apart. Every clean surface, every folded blanket, every organized shelf becomes a small victory. A silent reminder that even when you can't control the world, you can still create peace in your own space. Sometimes cleaning isn't about removing dust. It's about removing the emotional weight you've been carrying all day. And that's why for many people, a clean home doesn't just look peaceful. It feels like healing. Before you leave, take a moment and think about your home. Not how expensive it is, not how big it is, but how it makes you feel. Because the truth is, a home is more than four walls. It's where your mind goes to rest after fighting battles the world never sees. Imagine an elderly woman who lives alone. Every morning, she slowly opens the curtains, waters her plants, and carefully makes her bed. To others, it may look like an ordinary routine. But for her, it's a quiet reminder that life is still worth showing up for. Sometimes the smallest acts carry the deepest meaning. A neatly folded blanket, a clean kitchen, a room filled with light. These aren't just signs of cleanliness. They're signs of hope. A clean house doesn't mean someone has a perfect life. It may simply mean they're doing their best to create peace in a world that often feels chaotic. So, if you've ever looked around your room and felt inspired to clean, maybe your heart wasn't asking for a spotless home. Maybe it was asking for a fresh start. Because sometimes, the first step toward changing your life isn't chasing something bigger. It's taking care of the space that's already holding you together. And perhaps the greatest lesson is this: when you create peace around you, you slowly begin to create peace within you. If this video made you see yourself or someone you know in a new way, then it has done its job. Psychology isn't just about understanding the mind. It's about understanding ourselves. If you enjoyed this deep dive into human behavior and want more videos exploring the hidden psychology behind everyday habits, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. And I'd love to hear from you. Do you think a clean home reflects a peaceful mind, or can it sometimes hide a silent struggle? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your space, and never stop discovering the hidden psychology behind everyday life.